Piano teachers, how can you advance the sense of rhythm in your piano students, even piano beginners? Let's say that you haven't even taught them their first piano scales, so they're playing without any finger turns, just one hand position, 5 fingers in a row, 5 keys in a row. You can do these small exercises. I'm going to show 3 examples, and then at the end of each example, I'm going to give the example of how I adjusted 2 scales. So first, let's start with those simple one. The smaller scales are just a warm-up. You can warm up for the 4 quarters without any dotted eighths, just by playing in eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so that their fingers are already warmed up. You can do it several times, 3 to 5 times, and then check also on their round hand position and their wrists and other things that you want to pay attention to. And then ask them to play this same exercise as if they hit their fingers or their legs and they're limping. You don't even need to mention these theoretical dotted keys. Most likely they don't know them, and they don't need to know them, especially for piano beginners. Just show them and have them mimic your rhythm. So, let's limp. Do several times the same limping, so that they get used to the fact that the one key is much faster than the other one. And then if you want to adjust it to a scale, if you have already taught them their first scales with fingers turns, and add one last bar at the end so that they have the sense of ending. Then move on to 6/8. 3 keys in a row, 3 fingers in a row, and I'm doing 2 repetitions so that we are already building a little bit muscle memory. So we're going to have those pairs. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you have 2 pairs, of 3 keys and 3 fingers in a row. This is the first group, the second group, and the third group. You can press like that the keys to show them. The students that get it more visually, take in new information, it's going to be easier for them. And then ask them to repeat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This pair is a little bit harder because it has more difficult combinations of fingers. So pay attention here so that their hand doesn't fall off. And then finishing off with just 2 keys. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you see that they are already getting it quite easily, you can mix it up and try by 1 repetition. Let's say like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or an opposite order, starting from the 5th finger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if you want to adjust it to a scale, to C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The scale is not going down key by key, but it's jumping from the first to the last. And then odd time signatures. I like to give this also from early on so that I can break this this balanced way of counting, like 2 or 4. So we're going to give unequal parts. Here we're going to have 3, and here we're going to have 2. They can also stand up, and you can show them with their feet as if dancing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is longer, this is shorter. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Beautiful sunrise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And why am I giving the same keys in the beginning? I want them to get used to visually that they understand that here is going to be 3 and here is going to be 2. It's easier for them to see it when it's the same keys rather than showing them keys in a row. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Be careful so that they don't, sometimes because they're used to counting equally and have equal parts, after the 5th 8, they usually they take time to play again the first, which means actually that they're adding another 8th and they're making it equal, they're making it balanced, 6, 8, 8. So sometimes this happens. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. These are not 5 8s. This is again 6 8s. You just have a pause, a rest there. So be careful. So as soon as they finish this last key, they have to again land on the first one. 1, 2, 3, don't stop. 1, 2, 3, don't stop. And then if you see that this warm-up is going well, and a small intonation on the first C, on the first 8 and on the fourth 8, if you're dividing 3 plus 2, if you already see that they divide this unequal 2 parts, you can start moving it a little bit more and adding more keys. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, don't stop. Count always 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Do as many repetitions as you'd like, and then you can finish off with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then you can do the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And how I adjust this 5 8ths in the C major scale, I'm dividing the scale into 4 parts, 5 fingers in a row, no finger turns here, because I want them to think of the more difficult rhythm and not finger turns. I want it to be easy for their fingers. First group, second, going up, going down, third group, fourth group. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.